Hello guys, Mark here, thank you much for watching. So today I'm gonna be showing you three amazing games from the last tournament I played, which is one of the many Brain Chong has made. 15,000 cards for first. I was in the top 10 for the latest bit and I tried to go for the top 5 and I lost my last 5 matches, ending way below the top 20 even. But anyhow, I got 2000 cards, I cannot complain, 2100, so I'm gonna be opening this chest at the end of the video, guys. But before, I wanna start with some matches. I wanna start with some matches that are using this deck in specific. And this is the counter deck, like in a meta game. The meta game at the moment is Giant Poison. And I decided not to go with the meta game, I decided to go against it. So this deck works very well against the Giant Poison and works considerably well against the Lava Hound decks, which are quite many as well. And so obviously the two matches that I'm going to be showing you is against the two decks I just mentioned, and a mirror match against the creator of this deck, at least to my knowledge. So let's jump into the first match. Let me just hide here the screen so you don't see exactly the result before I put the replay. Let me just click it right here. Okay, should be this one here. All right, good. So here in the beginning we're gonna be playing against the classical Giant Poison deck with Ice Wizard. It can be played with Ice Wizard or with Princess if you want to be a little more aggressive, or with Prince if you want to be even more aggressive but more tanky, which is actually the version that works better against this deck. And the one that has the Ice Wizard is the one that is in the middle, and you're gonna see the beginning right there. I start with LSC, he doesn't have his, so I have an advantage, and I put the Inferno Tower because I know I have to defend to a reasonably sized push. And I put my poison in the back, and I put my troops outside of his poison range, which makes this defense really easy and actually give me a big advantage for this game. And I try to get the miner there just to deal some damage to this tower. Around 500 is what I expected, and I dealt a little more than that, so it was fine. As I said before, this deck is a deck that wins slowly, like you won't make a big push more often than not where you break the whole tower right away. So here just back and forth, trying to protect your collectors, which I failed to do there obviously, but I'm still in an advantage. And that Ice Wizard there is a big mistake from my side. Not that big of a reasonable mistake, because I don't need him in this side of the map. If it was in the other side, I would be able to do this counter attack that I'm just doing. Imagine this counter attack with the Ice Wizard as well on that side. It would have been a lot better, right? So small things like that. The collector was dead already from my side, and even though I'm winning pretty hard, I could have been winning even more just by not defending at all to this miner that was placed too fast from his side. And from here on I just have to be careful. I have the winning side, I have to defend properly, and I have to keep the pressure, because if he makes a slow push like he's doing right now, and I let him do that, more often than not he will be the one attacking and I will be the one defending. So I have to be able to keep my poison if I can, or at least keep some attacking troops. Like for example here I defended my elixir collector and I have the mini P.E.K.K.A there, which he will have to defend, and which means that he's gonna use his own guards, and obviously making my defense a lot easier, because this guards is what makes his giant more scary. But even though he reaches the tower and is dealing quite a lot of damage, so as you can see it's not the greatest idea to let the other player make the push he wants to do. But right there I can attack with some miner, even though I make kind of sloppy attack. I have a good poison right there, because the Musketeer is damaged, and damaged Musketeer plus poison or fireball is a dead unit, and the giant is useless from his side. So even though I have the upper hand, it's not a big advantage, so I'm gonna try to deal as much damage as I can, because on the latest stages of the overtime I won't be able to handle his attacks. I want to play speed attacks, speed Clash Royale, where even if I don't make the best trades and I'm giving him elixir advantage all the time, as you can see there, I'm able to close the game just because I made my cycle too fast for him to be able to handle. So as you can see, just at the end when the end screen finishes, if I'm not able to bring his tower down there, he would actually take my tower because he had a big elixir advantage. I started the game with actually a good elixir collector, which he couldn't able to handle, and I had, let's say, around 10 elixir, being the winner of the first exchange. But with time, I'm gonna be opening the second game right in a second. With time, I was giving him this elixir advantage in exchange of damage to his tower, and as long as I think I can keep that until the tower is down, it's okay. But if I'm not be able to take the tower down, it's obviously something that you shouldn't do. And that is the most of times is the way I lose my game. So anyhow, second game, Lava Hound deck, really typical with the miner that is placed behind tower at the moment, just before the lava pops pop, which makes the tower not defend them, and so zap is useless. And obviously is the hardest part of this deck. So right there, the best thing you can do, even if your even if your deck is crappy for attacking fast or it's not a good cycle, whatever, just try to do some damage to the other tower. Not because you need the damage that much in the beginning, but because you need him to place units from the other side. If you try to defend everything, you won't be able to handle the push that is gonna come from the other lane exclusively. And there I have a pretty good poison, and even though my tower is taking quite a lot of damage, I'm happy because I have my elixir collector behind, which is giving me elixir advantage. So the tower damage is even, I have an elixir advantage, at least the collector, which is 2 or 3, and I know that he's gonna start right now. I know his icon, obviously he has the spells, and he has the Lava Hound and the minions that he played in the beginning. So there is the good thing when you play against meta decks is that you know exactly what he's gonna have, and which makes me do plays that I usually wouldn't do. Like here, this Ice Wizard would feel confusing in the beginning because doesn't have any place there, but I know that he's gonna start with Lava Hound when he reaches 10 elixir, which is there. Actually he didn't do, I forgot that he started defending. Actually he understood what I was going to do, but this poison anyhow, like his units, if you look apart from the mini P.E.K.K.A, there is nothing that survives poison. So even though he defended very well to my push, I still dealt the damage and I still killed all the units. So I still have my elixir up there with his. So I traded 3 elixir for 500 damage to the tower, which is kind of okay. And look at this push, this is actually ridiculous, just Ice Wizards and miner, but I have to get this mini P.E.K.K.A there, I have to get stuff on the other side. And the ones that, if he has the mini P.E.K.K.A there, I know that with poison I can defend everything. And this Lava Hound is not scary, the pops are the scary thing, so as long as it's still alive, I shouldn't be that scared. And as you can see, the Inferno Tower, even though it only kills the Lava Hound, doesn't obviously, it's not the best troop to kill the pops, but they distract them enough, sorry, and it helps the tower not to take any damage, so it soaks the damage before anything. So I just keep making small attacks, which might feel stupid at the end of the day, but they're enough to take his tower and win the game. So this is how this deck works, guys. You just get elixir advantage, and then you trade it for tower damage in stupid exchanges, because you don't have good cards to make profitable attacks. All the attacks that you're gonna make with this deck are gonna be disadvantageous, sorry, in terms of elixir, but that's not the big deal, because after 3 minutes end, you just win the game. You just win the game if you have 1 tower more. So that's the thing there, guys. I think there is a way that you can understand how to use this deck, but only in tournaments. Okay, don't try this deck in ladder, because you're gonna have a hard time. And I would like to show you some games where I lost, but I don't think if you have some time, so I can at least show you where the major mistakes that I did in one of my other games. But this is the 3rd game where I played the mirror, which is something that you can also happen to you actually, which is miner cycle with poison, where you only have to defend your collector. Like the most important thing right now in the meta game is defending your collector, and the poison is not the best counter, obviously. So, but he had that in cycle, so it's the only thing that he could have made as a play. And I just make a stupid attack there because I don't want to sit in 10 elixir. and there's no advantage to have an elixir collector if you don't gonna use any elixir. So I just do the first push I can, trying to deal some damage, which he defends actually pretty well. With the poison there and the zap, I'm able to take both his units and actually hit the tower as well. So poison sometimes it's not always for the small units, but it's also for the slow mini P.E.K.K.A against mini P.E.K.K.A. Anything that slows that mini P.E.K.K.A, being it ice wizard, poison, anything that you can imagine in the game that slows, will make your mini P.E.K.K.A hit first, which is actually a really big advantage in this game. So think about it sometimes, like if you can poison some just for this mini P.E.K.K.A to have the kill blow on his on the other player's mini P.E.K.K.A, it's a good thing to do. And right there I managed to take his elixir collector, and he misses mine. I defend pretty well, so I have the advantage, let's say, in the elixir side. I try to be as effective as possible with my elixir because I know that he's playing exactly my deck. Actually, I'm playing exactly his deck. Trainer Chris is the one that created this deck, at least to my knowledge, and he missed with the zap there, which makes me make a reckless attack right there, but enough to take quite a lot of the HP of the tower. And as you can see, just with the small thingies, I have 1000 HP advantage, even though the elixir is not looking pretty bright right now. As long as I don't make mistake, I should be able to win this game, but I have lost more than enough games in this exact situation to know that I shouldn't be too confident. And this is one of the plays that you can make right there. Go for the tower and poison the elixir collector as well, so the other player, whenever he defends this elixir collector, is actually not enough, because you didn't go for the elixir collector, you just went for a tower, and the poison was there anyway, killing the elixir collector and killing the defense if it's guards or something like this. But I managed to make a good counter attack, which dealt enough damage, and he already knows that he's out of cycle and he wouldn't be able to deal enough damage, so he just made some fast attacks, which I always have to defend with the mini P.E.K.K.A, because if I defend with the guard, they'll just get poisoned and die. And this mini P.E.K.K.A right there that was used for defending actually took over all the other guards for the other players, so I always have to keep the mini P.E.K.K.A for the miner. And since I play this deck, I know how to play with it, and I'm able to out cycle and to just out damage the tower, even though I missed the last. If you remember in my last video, I explained that people usually put the miner in the middle there to make the finish to final blow, and actually Chris expected that, killing it pretty fast. But let's just jump for quite a second. I might just play only half of this match for you to see where the mistakes can happen. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit. So we have the similar setup, just elixir collector is trying to go for it, whatever. So look right there. He didn't defend actually this elixir collector. He knew that it was going to die, but he played the musketeer on the other side just to kill it, to save at least one elixir, enough for his push right now. Like, my elixir collector is not gonna stay there, so he's gonna do the same job, just giving him one elixir. And he has a big push that I'm not be able to stop with the prince behind. And actually I am doing quite a good job in the beginning, but you see that my mistakes is whenever here when I tried to do a counter attack, because I thought my mini P.E.K.K.A was going to live. He understood that my mistake was exactly there, and he went for a fast giant, which I didn't have anything to counter. I can put the Inferno Tower, but the prince was going to kill it, so I just zapped there because it was what I had in my hand. And my P.E.K.K.A just dies to the guards, and tower down, guys. So lesson learned. Sometimes you have to be careful, and I obviously end up losing this game. So just small things like that, small mistakes like here and there, can make you lose really close games like this. And against this giant deck, if you don't have the proper units, which is mini P.E.K.K.A, Inferno Tower, Musketeer, stuff like that, to take out the giant, and he knows that they are out of rotation or they can be dealt with, like with the prince, even low health, then obviously the game is gonna be lost. But anyway, then let's not make this video longer. I know that some of you are gonna skip to the end of this video just to see what's inside this chest. So let's go for it. 600 gems, whatever. 11,000 gold, ice spirits, fire spirits. Okay, just some commons. Let's say 100 commons from all the views. I'm not gonna put my commons to level 12, so I don't really care. It's too much gold for a level 11, so it's 20,000 gold. I don't care that much about ladder. Okay, freeze, level 5. Giant can be level 8 for a long time actually. Wizard, Hog Riders, not that many. Okay, let's just speed it up a little bit. Because all these cards, even if they give me cards that I like, they are not that many, so it's not that something that you want to see too much. And just 3-4 epics from each. Blah blah blah. Oh, a lot of zaps. People would love this in my clan. Bomb tower, thank you. Goblin huts, giant skeletons. Oh, okay, I like this card. I want to get it to level 6 so I can play it in ladder. Guards, okay. Okay, skeleton army nobody uses. Ah, bowler. Cool. Okay, some lightning. Rocket. Which, let's hope we have a legendary inside, guys. Yeah, lock level 2. Amazing. I can lose the lock right now because it's gonna kill princess level 3. Woo, exactly a legendary I wanted. Thank you very much, Supercell. So that will be everything for the video, quite long one. So thank you for staying with me. If you're hearing this right now, hit me in the comments if you want to see something specific. And thank you very much for watching this, guys. I hope you learned a lot. And if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? Have a nice day, guys, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.